The Secret of the Great Pyramid. This is a deep dive into the heart of the Giza Plateau, a narrative that blends historical fact with the pulse-pounding mystery of what still lies hidden behind the stone. Imagine standing in the middle of a Saharan dust storm, the wind howling like a choir of ghosts. As the grit clears, a structure emerges, not just a building, but a mountain of mathematical perfection. For 4,500 years, the Great Pyramid of Giza has watched empires rise and fall into the sand. It is the only one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world still standing, yet we are only now beginning to realize that we might have been looking at it all wrong. This is not a story of aliens or magic. It is a story of a reality far more shocking, a civilization that possessed a level of precision we can barely replicate today, and a secret chamber sealed for millennia that was only recently detected using subatomic particles from outer space. The Ghost in the Machine. In the summer of 1880, a young eccentric Englishman named Flinders Petrie arrived at the Giza Plateau. While others came with dynamite and greed, Petrie came with a specialized set of calipers and a mind for numbers. He lived in an abandoned tomb, worked in his underwear to stay cool, and spent nights measuring the casing stones of the pyramid to a fraction of a millimeter. What he found terrified the scientific community of the time. The Great Pyramid, built for the pharaoh Khufu, was composed of roughly 2.3 million stone blocks, some weighing as much as a Boeing 747. But it wasn't just the weight, it was the accuracy. The base of the pyramid is level to within 3/4 of an inch. The 4 sides are aligned to true north with an accuracy of within 3/60ths of a degree. To achieve this today, we would use GPS and laser-guided surveying equipment. Khufu's builders had copper chisels and hemp ropes. Or did they? Petrie sat under the moonlight, looking at the king's chamber. High inside the pyramid, this room is made of red granite hauled from Aswan 500 miles away. The ceiling consists of 9 massive granite beams, each weighing 70 tons. If a single one had cracked during placement, the entire structure above it would have collapsed. They are fitted together so tightly that you cannot slide a razor blade between them. As Petrie measured, he realized the pyramid wasn't just a tomb. It was a giant stone computer, a physical manifestation of pi and the golden ratio, constants of the universe that the Greeks wouldn't discover for another 2,000 years. The dynamite and the deception. Fast forward to the 1830s, decades before Petrie. An explorer named Colonel Howard Weiss was desperate for fame. He wanted to find the treasure of Khufu. When he couldn't find a door, he did the unthinkable. He used gunpowder to blast his way into the structure. Weiss's explosions revealed the relieving chambers above the king's chamber. There, he found something that has sparked a century of debate: crude red paint markings left by the ancient work crews. One of them contained the name Khufu. For 100 years, this was the smoking gun that proved the pyramid belonged to that specific pharaoh. But modern researchers have noted a strange anomaly. The hieroglyphs were written in a style that some argue didn't exist during Khufu's reign. Was Weiss so desperate for success that he forged the name of a king to justify his destruction? If the pyramid wasn't Khufu's, or if it was much older than we thought, then the mystery shifts from who built it to what it actually was. The star shafts and the Orion correlation. Inside the king and queen's chambers are narrow shafts only 8 inches wide. For decades, archaeologists called them air shafts, but they don't lead to the outside. They are blocked. In the 1990s, a German engineer named Rudolf Gantenbrink sent a small tethered robot called UPUOUT-2, the opener of ways, up the shaft of the Queen's chamber. The world watched on live TV as the robot's camera crawled 200 feet into the dark. Suddenly, it stopped. A stone door with 2 copper handles blocked the path. It was the first time in 4,000 years a human eye had seen that barrier. A decade later, another robot drilled a tiny hole through that door, only to find another door behind it. The mystery didn't end, it deepened. Why go to such lengths to seal a tiny crawl space? In the United States, researchers like Robert Bauval proposed a stunning theory. The 3 pyramids of Giza aren't randomly placed. They are a perfect terrestrial map of the 3 stars in Orion's belt. The shafts inside the pyramid point directly towards the stars Sirius and Thuban as they appeared in the sky in 2500 BCE. The pyramid was a bridge, not for the body of a king, but for his soul to navigate the stars. The Scan Pyramids Revolution. In the summer of 2017, an international team launched the Scan Pyramids project. They used muon tomography. Muons are subatomic particles that rain down from the upper atmosphere. They pass through stone, but are absorbed by it at different rates. By placing muon detectors inside and around the pyramid, scientists could X-ray the structure. What they found sent shockwaves through the world of archaeology. Above the Grand Gallery, the massive slanting hallway that leads to the King's Chamber, there is a big void. It is at least 100 feet long and hasn't been entered by a human in nearly 5 millennia. It isn't a crack, it is a structural, intentional space. What is inside? The true mummy of Khufu? Ancient scrolls explaining the lost technology of the Nile? Or perhaps, as some theorists suggest, the void is the key to how the pyramid was built, a counterweight system that allowed the massive granite blocks to be lifted like an ancient elevator. The engineering impossible. To an American audience used to the skyscrapers of Manhattan or the bridges of San Francisco, the scale of Giza is hard to grasp until you look at the logistics. To finish the Great Pyramid in 20 years, the estimated reign of Khufu, the workers would have had to set 1 block every 2 minutes, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Recent excavations at the Workers' Village have debunked the Hollywood myth of Jewish slaves being whipped by Pharaoh's guards. Instead, records show an elite, highly paid workforce. They ate prime beef, had access to medical care, surgeons even performed brain surgery on workers, and were organized into gangs with names like the Friends of Khufu. They weren't slaves, they were a nation obsessed with a singular goal. But even with a willing workforce, the math remains a glitch in the matrix. How did they move 70-ton stones across the desert? New evidence suggests they utilized a now lost branch of the Nile River that flowed right to the foot of the plateau. They used water as a level and a lubricant. But even with water, the precision of the joints, where stones are fitted with 1/500th of an inch accuracy, remains an engineering miracle that defies the tools of the Bronze Age. The echo of the future. As we stand in 2025, the Great Pyramid is no longer just a tomb. It is a testament to the heights of human potential. We are currently on the verge of the second opening. Using new fiber-optic snake cameras that can fit through the drill holes made by robots and even more advanced muon scans, we are about to see inside the big void. Is it possible that the Great Pyramid was never meant to be a grave? Some of the most daring theories now being discussed in academic circles in the US and Europe suggest the structure was a geopolitical power plant or a massive resonance chamber. When the pyramid was encased in white limestone and topped with a capstone of gold, it would have been visible from miles away, shining like a fallen star. The mystery isn't just about how it was built, but why we, with all our modern technology, are still so baffled by it. It stands as a silent challenge. We were this great once. Can you remember how? Epilogue. The secret still held. The desert wind continues to bite at the stones. The white limestone casing is mostly gone, stripped away to build the mosques of Cairo, but the core remains. Every time we think we have the answer, the pyramid reveals a new question. We found the big void, but we don't have the door. We found the star shafts, but we don't know the message. We found the workman's village, but we haven't found the blueprints. The Great Pyramid is a mirror. When we look at it, we see our own theories, our own dreams, and our own limitations. It remains the world's greatest historical reality, a mountain of stone that proves that the past was much more sophisticated, much more mysterious, and much more modern than we ever dared to imagine. The journey into the Giza Plateau deepens. While the big void haunts the headlines of modern science, the very fabric of the stones themselves suggests a level of technology that feels almost like science fiction. The resonance of the Granite King. If you were to step inside the king's chamber today, the first thing you would notice is the silence. It is a heavy, pressurized silence. This room, located at the heart of the Great Pyramid, is unique. Unlike the rest of the structure, which is built of local limestone, this room is made of massive blocks of Aswan red granite. Granite is rich in quartz crystals. In modern electronics, quartz is used for its piezoelectric properties, the ability to convert mechanical pressure into electrical energy. In the 1930s, an acoustic engineer named Christopher Dunn conducted tests inside the king's chamber. He discovered that the room is tuned to a specific frequency. When a human voice hums at a low register, the entire room, thousands of tons of granite, begins to vibrate in sympathy. The sarcophagus inside, which was found empty and lidless, isn't just a box, it's a resonant hearth. When struck, it rings like a deep metallic bell. This leads to a startling question. Was the king's chamber a tomb, or was it a vibration chamber? Some physicists suggest the pyramid acted as a giant seismic collector, harvesting the natural vibrations of the earth, the Schumann resonance, and focusing them into the king's chamber. For what purpose? Healing? Energy? Or perhaps a form of ancient communication? While mainstream archaeology remains skeptical, the precision of the room's acoustics is undeniable. The lost Ahramat branch of the Nile. For centuries, a nagging question plagued historians. How did they move 2.3 million stones across miles of burning sand? The Giza Plateau is currently miles away from the Nile River. In May 2024, a team of researchers using satellite imagery and soil core analysis made a discovery that changed everything. They found traces of a long dried-up branch of the Nile that they named the Ahramat branch, the Pyramid branch. Thousands of years ago, this waterway flowed directly past the base of the pyramids. This wasn't just a lucky coincidence. The Egyptians were master hydraulic engineers. They built a massive system of canals and harbors, essentially an ancient highway of water. This allowed them to float the 70-ton granite beams from Aswan right to the foot of the construction site. This discovery strips away the alien mystery and replaces it with something more impressive, a civilization so in tune with their environment that they could reroute the world's longest river to serve their architectural ambition. The inventory stele, a glitch in the timeline. Near the Great Pyramid, a mysterious stone tablet known as the Inventory Stele was discovered in the 19th century. Its text claims that Pharaoh Khufu didn't build the Sphinx or the Great Pyramid, he repaired them. If this text is accurate, it suggests the pyramids are thousands of years older than 2500 BCE. This fits with the controversial water erosion theory proposed by geologist Robert Schoch. He noticed that the Sphinx shows signs of deep vertical weathering, the kind that only caused by thousands of years of heavy torrential rainfall. The problem?
Egypt hasn't had that kind of rain since the end of the last ice age around 10,000 BCE. If the Sphinx and the foundations of the pyramids date back to 10,000 BCE, we're looking at a lost chapter of human history, an era where humans were not hunter-gatherers but master builders who understood the stars and the stone long before the rise of the dynastic pharaohs. The Secret of the North Face, the 2023 revelation. The mystery isn't just in the past, it's happening right now. In March 2023, the Scan Pyramids team released a photo that stunned the world. Using an endoscope, a tiny camera on a flexible tube, they peeked behind the chevron stones on the north face of the pyramid. They found a 9-meter-long, 30-foot hidden corridor. The corridor is empty, but its ceiling is gabled, triangular, designed to withstand incredible pressure. It leads nowhere, or so it seems. Archaeologists believe this corridor was designed to redistribute the weight of the structure, but its pristine condition suggests it hasn't been touched since the day the last stone was laid. What is it protecting? Some believe this corridor leads directly to the big void detected by the muon scans. We are currently standing at the threshold of the greatest archaeological find of the 21st century. We are no longer guessing, we are looking through the keyhole.
The geometry of the Earth. To the American mind, we think in terms of miles, inches, and GPS. The builders of the Great Pyramid thought in terms of the Earth itself. If you take the height of the Great Pyramid and multiply it by 43,200, you get the polar radius of the Earth. If you take the perimeter of the base and multiply it by 43,200, you get the equatorial circumference of the Earth. The number 43,200 is not random. It is a multiple of 72, which is the number of years it takes for the Earth's stars to shift by 1 degree due to the precession of the equinoxes. The Great Pyramid is a scale model of the northern hemisphere. The builders knew the size of the planet, they knew the Earth was a sphere, and they knew the wobbling motion of its axis. This level of geographic knowledge wasn't supposed to exist for another 2,000 years after Khufu. The curse of the knowledge. The more we learn, the more the mystery evolves. It is no longer a question of if the Egyptians were advanced, but how they lost that advancement. The Great Pyramid stands as a time capsule. Every chamber, every shaft, and every hidden corridor we find with muons and robots is a page in a book we are finally learning how to read. We are realizing that the Stone Age wasn't just about stones, it was about a profound understanding of physics, astronomy, and the very resonance of our planet. As we prepare to send the next generation of robots into the big void in 2025 and 2026, the world holds its breath. We are not just looking for gold or mummies, we are looking for our own origin story. The final layers of the pyramid mystery do not lie in the stones themselves, but in the echoes they left behind in human consciousness and the high-tech frontier we are currently crossing. The legend of the Emerald Tablet. For centuries, a whisper has persisted among the world's most famous alchemists and scientists, from Isaac Newton to the mysterious figures of the Renaissance. It is the legend of the Emerald Tablet, a fabled artifact said to contain the secrets of the universe and the formula for the transmutation of matter. According to legend, this tablet was authored by Hermes Trismegistus, or the Egyptian god Thoth, and was hidden within a secret chamber inside the Great Pyramid, or beneath the paws of the Sphinx. While archaeologists scoff at the idea of a magical green tablet, the 2024-2025 scans have revealed something curious. Deep within the bedrock beneath the pyramid, there are thermal anomalies, pockets of air or hollow spaces that do not appear on any official map. In the United States, researchers at various institutions are using cosmic ray muon radiography to create a 3D map of these subterranean voids. Could the Hall of Records mentioned by the 20th century mystic Edgar Cayce actually exist? We are closer than ever to finding out. The White Pyramid, a beacon in the desert. To understand the mystery, we must mentally reset the pyramid. Today, we see a rugged, brown stepped structure,
but in 2500 BCE, it was a site that would have looked alien to the ancient world. The entire structure was covered in 144,000 casing stones of highly polished Tura limestone. These stones were cut with such precision that the joints were invisible. The pyramid would have been a brilliant, blinding white, reflecting the Saharan sun like a giant mirror. It is estimated that the pyramid would have been visible from the mountains of Israel hundreds of miles away. At the very top sat the pyramidion, a capstone likely made of solid gold or electrum. Think about the psychological impact. In a world of mud brick huts, a 480-foot-tall, glowing white gold-tipped mountain existed. It wasn't just a tomb, it was a technological statement. It was a broadcast of power and knowledge. The mystery isn't why this incredible finish was stripped away. Most of the casing stones were taken in the 14th century to build the city of Cairo after a massive earthquake loosened them. Imagine what secrets were carved into those lost white stones. The 2025 frontier, the second door. As you read this, a team of international scientists is preparing a new mission for late 2025. Their target, the Queen's Chamber shafts. We know there is a door with copper handles. We know there is a small space behind it, and then another door. This is not a structural necessity. You do not build a 200-foot-long, 8-inch-wide shaft and put two sequential doors in it unless you are hiding something or protecting it. The new plan involves a micro-robotic swarm. Instead of one large robot, they intend to send tiny, insect-like drones that can fly through the drill holes to explore the space between the doors. The goal is to see if there are inscriptions on the walls, or if these shafts were actually waveguides for some form of electromagnetic energy. If these shafts contain even a single scroll or a tool, it would be the most significant archaeological discovery since Tutankhamun's tomb in 1922. The mathematics of the soul. The Great Pyramid is the only structure on Earth that seems to bridge the gap between hard science and spirituality. The speed of light. The geographic coordinates of the Great Pyramid are 29.979248 degrees north. The speed of light in a vacuum is 299,979,458 meters per second. To many, this is the ultimate coincidence that defies logic. The weight of the Earth. The mass of the pyramid is estimated at 6 million tons. If you multiply this by a factor of 10 to the 15th, you get the approximate mass of the Earth. Is it possible the builders were sending a message across time? A message that says, we knew the dimensions of the world, we knew the speed of light, we knew the stars. The real pyramid mystery isn't just about how they lifted the stones, it's about why they felt the need to encode the laws of physics into a mountain of granite. It suggests that the Great Pyramid was a time capsule, a way to ensure that even if their civilization fell, their knowledge would survive as long as the stones remained. Conclusion: the silent teacher. The Great Pyramid of Giza remains the world's most enduring enigma. It has survived the rise of Rome, the Middle Ages, the Industrial Revolution, and the Atomic Age. We live in an era where we can see the surface of Mars in high definition, yet we still cannot say for certain what lies in the big void just 100 feet above the heads of tourists in Cairo. It humbles us. It reminds us that ancient does not mean primitive. As we move into 2026 with muon detectors and micro-robots poised to unlock the final doors, we may finally get our answer. But perhaps the pyramid is doing exactly what it was designed to do. It forces us to keep searching, to keep measuring, and to keep wondering. The mystery isn't meant to be solved. It's meant to lead us towards our own evolution. This final segment moves beyond the pyramid's walls to the surrounding mysteries and the legacy this stone computer leaves for our modern world. The trial passages, the architect's blueprint? Just a few hundred yards east of the Great Pyramid is a curious feature often ignored by tourists, the trial passages. These are a series of corridors carved directly into the bedrock that mirror the internal passages of the Great Pyramid, specifically the descending passage, the ascending passage, and the junction where they meet. It is as if the architects built a one-to-one scale model of the most complex internal parts of the pyramid in the ground before committing to the massive stone structure. This blueprint in stone proves that the layout was planned with meticulous care long before the first block was laid. It also suggests that the internal chambers were not an afterthought. They were the very purpose of the project.
The Serapeum, the mystery of the 100-ton boxes. While the Great Pyramid is the star of the show, the nearby site of Saqqara holds a mystery that is perhaps even more baffling to modern engineers: the Serapeum. This is an underground labyrinth containing 24 massive granite boxes. Each box weighs up to 70 tons, with a lid weighing an additional 30 tons. These boxes are made of Aswan granite and are finished with a precision that defies the tools of the Bronze Age. The interior surfaces are perfectly flat and square to within microns, a feat we achieve today using diamond-tipped industrial grinders. They are located in narrow tunnels where there is barely enough room for a human to stand, let alone a team of hundreds of men to move 100 tons of rock. Mainstream archaeology says they were coffins for sacred Apis bulls, yet they were found empty. To an American engineer, these look less like coffins and more like high-precision industrial containers. The precision of the Serapeum boxes remains one of the strongest arguments for a lost technology that was once common in the Nile Valley. The final revelation, a message for the future? In the United States today, in the halls of NASA and the research labs of MIT, the Great Pyramid is being looked at with fresh eyes. We are beginning to realize that the builders were not just obsessed with death, they were obsessed with permanence. Everything we build today, our steel skyscrapers, our digital servers, our satellites, will be dust in 5,000 years. If we wanted to leave a message for a civilization 10,000 years in the future, we couldn't use paper, hard drives, or plastic. We would have to use stone, and we would have to use math, the universal language. The Great Pyramid is a message written in the language of the earth and the stars. It tells us that we are part of a larger cosmic cycle. It reminds us that humanity has reached incredible heights before, and that we have the inherent potential to do so again. As we stand on the brink of 2026, the pyramid mystery is transitioning from a story of the past into a roadmap for the future. The doors are finally opening. The big void is about to give up its secrets, and when it does, it won't just be the story of a pharaoh, it will be the story of us. The last secret. The sun sets over the Giza plateau, casting long triangular shadows across the burning sand. For a brief moment, the Great Pyramid looks exactly as it did 4 millennia ago, a sentinel of human achievement. We came looking for gold, we found a mirror. We came looking for a tomb, we found a temple of science. The mystery remains not because the answers are hidden, but because we are only now becoming smart enough to understand the questions. The deeper we dig, the more the Great Pyramid reveals itself not as a static tomb, but as a dynamic machine of history. To finish this journey, we must descend into the dark and then look far beyond the horizon of 2025. The subterranean enigma, the pyramid's brain. While most visitors focus on the king's chamber high above, there is a third, far more mysterious room located 100 feet below the pyramid's base, carved directly into the bedrock. This is the subterranean chamber. Unlike the polished granite rooms above, this chamber looks chaotic, half-finished, with fins of rock protruding from the floor. For decades, archaeologists called it an abandoned project, but modern structural engineers see something else. They see a hydraulic pump system. When the Nile, via the Ahramat branch, was at its peak, water could have been channeled into this subterranean space. The compression of air and water in this jagged room could have created a pulse that vibrated through the entire structure. If the pyramid was indeed a resonance machine, this dark underground room was its heartbeat. The 2026 horizon, the second opening.
As of late 2025, the international scientific community is preparing for the most ambitious project in Egypt's history. The Scan Pyramids team, along with NASA-affiliated researchers, is finalizing a plan to use a specialized muon telescope that will provide a high-resolution 3D image of the Big Void. What if it's not just a void? Preliminary data suggests the space is not empty but contains internal structures. There are whispers that this might be the true King's Chamber, a room designed to be inaccessible to grave robbers, containing the untouched history of the Fourth Dynasty. In 2026, the world will likely witness a virtual opening. Using the data from these subatomic particles, we will be able to walk through the hidden corridor and the Big Void in VR without ever moving a single stone. We are about to solve a 4,500-year-old mystery with the help of stars and shadows. The American Connection: Why We Are Obsessed. To an American audience, the Great Pyramid represents the ultimate frontier. It is the Everest of archaeology. From the pyramid on the back of the US dollar bill, the unfinished pyramid with the all-seeing eye, to the glass pyramid of the Luxor Hotel in Las Vegas, the image of Giza is woven into the American psyche. Why? Because the United States is a nation built on the idea of Novus Ordo Seclorum, a new order of the ages. We see in the Great Pyramid a reflection of our own drive to build things that last, to create a legacy that outlives the people who built it. The mystery of the pyramid isn't just Egyptian, it is the mystery of human ambition. Conclusion: the eternal sentinel. The story of the Great Pyramid of Giza is far from over. It is a living document, a book in stone that we are only now learning to read. We have learned that it was built with sub-millimeter precision that challenges modern tech. It was positioned to map the stars of Orion and the circumference of the Earth. It contains hidden chambers discovered only in the last decade using particle physics. It likely utilized the Nile's hydraulics and the piezoelectric properties of granite. As we finish this exploration, remember that the Great Pyramid stands as a challenge to our modern ego. It reminds us that our ancestors were not primitive. They were geniuses who worked with the Earth rather than against it. They built a structure that has outlasted every empire, every religion, and every war in recorded history. The pyramid mystery isn't a puzzle to be solved and forgotten, it is a mirror. When we finally look inside the Big Void in the coming months, we won't just find gold or dust, we will find proof of what the human spirit is capable of when it aims for the stars. Thanks for watching.